Elmore, Executive Director of USA Strong and Turning Point USA contributor. 42 to 48 vote was the first time in modern history that a nominee received 0 votes from the minority party. Here's Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Monday, October 26, 2020, will go down as one of the darkest days in the 231-year history of the United States Senate.
It seems like this confirmation in particular has really laid bare the Democrat argument against women. Erin, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely. You couldn't have said it better. I couldn't, at least. And I think she is a mother of 7. We should celebrate working mothers, but instead the Democrats put up a big 0. And I think that will come back to haunt several of them for doing so. She is going to be a great justice, and I think that this is what America needs, and the people have spoken, and I think the Democrats really need to have a come to Jesus moment, because everything they've done in the last 4 years has shown us that there has been no growth, no thought process. They haven't been pensive. They haven't been reflective. That's why they have an almost 80-year-old white man as their candidate, and they're reaping what they are sowing.
And it's going to likely be a repeat of 2016. And here's Donald Trump at his rally in Lansing, Michigan. This is just so silly to me. Erin, your thoughts?
Okay, so the song that Joe Biden walked out to is Midnight Train to Georgia, about a man that couldn't hack it, so he had to go home with his tail between his legs. So that's not exactly the
prophetic sign.
Yeah, it's a little foreshadowing.
Yeah.
In those lines, the big circles, I don't think that the NFL Super Bowl has lines that are that clear. It's like, I mean, really? It's pretty pathetic.
And yes, there's so much. I love these, and we've been doing the comparison on the show for a few weeks now, and it's kind of always the same. There's nothing different. Every once in a while, as Chris has mentioned, that they'll throw cars in there to try to fill seats. But Chris, what are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, it's a surreal image. The whole Biden event.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
To be careful,
right.
And you know the whole speech. Do you actually think that viewers look at that and go, "Oh, good, he's being responsible," or do you think everyone kind of realizes nobody's supporting Joe Biden?
It's a freak show. It is. It is bizarre, right?
2 and 3 masks. It's very bizarre. Like, you see all like the different contraptions, ups and down. I mean, how many masks do you need? And then he calls all of us. We're not the deplorables. We're the super spreaders.
The super spreaders.
But like, I think now that's almost like, okay, really? Because we're not the ones out riding the night. So let's keep that in mind. Riding doesn't cause it.
It's been 8 months.
I'm excited to see the results of the election, but I am disappointed to not do that clip anymore because I think they're so fun. But when we come back from the break, we will discuss a rather interesting Google search. To Google Trends data, Google searches for "change my vote" have spiked over the last several days, and voters interested in adjusting their ballots are also searching for more information on Hunter Biden. Do you think voters care about the Hunter Biden case? Because the media is trying, mainstream media is trying to hush and cover it up. They weren't covering it, and even Twitter and some of the other social media companies tried to bury it and not even allow people to share it. So what do you think what's happening?
The people that have cognitive dissonance regarding Joe Biden and they're going to vote for him, they say that this is an issue of addiction and shame on us for making fun of an addict. But the issues aren't the issues of the addiction. It's taking the money and having an affair with...
Why did he money launder Russian oligarch money?
Right.
Why was he doing that?
Right.
Yeah.
With no experience in the field, not even being able to speak the language.
Right.
Having no experience in this regard whatsoever.
Yep.
He was sleeping with his deceased brother's wife while using illicit drugs and getting a sex worker pregnant and then denying that was his child until a court ordered him to pay child support.
I'm always impressed when you can connect that chain because it's very odd and unusual. It's like so out there, but
it almost sounds too crazy to be true.
Yeah, it's a soap opera. Amber, what are your thoughts on... We've got 3 minutes to get through as many questions as we can. The panelists have 10 seconds each to answer, and we'll see how many questions we can get through. Okay, here we go. Why aren't Democrats concerned about big tech censoring speech? I'll start with Preston.
It's part of the Democratic Party. It's the DNCCP, so it's part of their advocacy arm.
Erin.
It's in their favor. It's only benefits the Democrats. They love this.
How long do you think it will take to count the votes? When will we get our election result? Preston.
We'll know by 2 a.m. on Wednesday morning.
Erin.
I hope that it's such a blowout that the Democrats just wave the white flag.
Okay, back to Preston. What will be the biggest surprise of this coming week?
Alex Jones and Joe Rogan's podcast. And then the second time, it's already gotten 6 million views in 24 hours. So we'll see if Joe Rogan gets deplatformed next.
Okay.
I don't want any surprises. I want to have a boring week.
Okay.
Orchestrated and financed urban violence for more than a week with a National Guard deployed in several cities.
I think it's 310 or 320 to 218 or 228. So no. I think Trump does better than 2016.
I think Trump does better than 2016, and the polling is pretty wrong.
Likewise.
In Pennsylvania. Preston.
Absolutely, it's going red. Philly, you're seeing African American support 24% for the president. If that scales nationally, this race is a bloodbath.
Erin, you're from Pennsylvania.
My whole life, Pennsylvania is not what the Democrats seem. It's going to be red.
Okay.
Likewise.
Joe Biden dug his own grave by saying he would transition the U.S. away from oil, and the riots in Philadelphia are only going to further cement support for Trump.
Amen.
All right, very good. Don't go anywhere.